So I'm not sure where to begin. I mean, normally you'd begin at the beginning, but if I was to begin at the beginning, then it might be nearer the middle. Maybe it's near the end. I don't know. I've lost track of it all, to be honest with you, and all the excitement has just gone out the window. So I suppose I'd better start with where we are. So I just wanted to get you a bit caught up on everything else, because this is my 2009, forget what that says, Fiat Panda 100 with a few modifications thrown under this bonnet thing. And we've been working on this for the last 6 months. We converted it from a tired 1.4 naturally aspirated lovely little engine, you know, but we decided we were going to go a little bit more up in the power stakes and stick one of those in it. The whole saga of what, how, where, when, why and everything else will be probably over there somewhere, up in that corner. So if you want to get caught up, it would. And if you like watching all this stuff, please, what I've noticed is that 95% of you people there watching all this, you're not subscribed. Right, that helps the channel and it lets me know what everyone's watched, so I can do more of, you know, all that. Right, so if you haven't subscribed, click it, because, you know, I'll do more stuff. And yeah, and we need the subscribers, you know. I feel really bad asking, but you know, I don't ask, don't get, you. Anyway, where were we? This happened, and that led to this happening. So as you can see from the picture, the CO was extremely high and the lambda was a bit low. Usually means it's running extremely rich, which could be a number of things. It could be the AFR, which means it's the map. It could be the cat, which means that we need to discuss cats. Now, stuff's already occurred here because I've got time to do what I've got to do when I've got to do it, and that time only occurs every... What this was fitted with originally was a sport cat, because that was the only thing I could get when I had the opportunity to buy everything and get everything and sort everything out. And the Parts Fairy supplied a supposedly good sport cat. However, we were told by several knowledgeable people that, oh, sports cats don't work, mate. And in all honesty, it would appear that that is the case. The cat that was fitted to the car, whilst it does offer a reasonable amount of flow, shall we say, it clearly doesn't offer the right amount of emissions thing. And whether it wasn't hot enough or whether it was, there was loads of different reasons why it could have failed, but at the end of the day, it's failed. The easiest way to get things sorted is to put a OEM cat on it, which I've actually done. And there were a few issues around fitting that. It is tight. The sport cat is over there. Not sure what to do yet. Not sure how to get this sorted. Don't even know if this will definitely get it through or get those readings down and get it through the test. No idea yet. We are going to find out, however, because this is good. I am chasing down what appears to be some sort of leak, which also could have been the problem. Don't know. We'll find out now. No. That's what it does. There you go. Because now it's you know, it's there. Right. So that's some. Yeah. So we're not leaking any oil down there, which is good, which means all that. Now we have had all this out before, but these plugs are either the originals or at some point the engine would have been serviced. But we've been all through this. We did all this on the you know, on the original setup and one thing or another when we changed the engine. Links up there in the corner somewhere. Is it there? I don't know, it's around there somewhere. But as you can see, do you know what? I don't think that's that bad. Now the plug doesn't look in a bad condition in any way, shape or form. I think the colour, yeah, we're not showing any, you know, and that tip where the actual firing is correct. Now I've got to be careful because this thing is red hot and that's the only way it could get out there. So these are Fiat plugs. That's an IKR 9J8. Well, it's just as well I got the right plugs then, isn't it? They're not cheap, these. They're bloody not cheap, these. And they should, I'm not going to check the gap, because the gap should be the same and the gap should be correct. Gapped. I'm going to do these one coil and one plug at a time so I don't mess anything up. But these are and I'm going to do it by hand. Oh, I forgot there's a washer on these. New one. Click.
Talk.
No,
talked.
No, you don't, with the plugs, because there is a
Tighten in one turn, isn't it? Or half tighten a quarter turn?
well, you kind of know, but there's a crush washer on it, right? So when you put the plug in for the first time, you gotta go, oh, you go, oh, hang on, that feels a bit weird, and you're squishing the washer down off.
Yet I waste my life away. Maybe I could try to find all the good things locked inside. I find things that are gonna hold me back. What if I could, but I can't? What if I could, but I can't? What if I could, but I can't?
Only running about 82.
It doesn't overheat it, don't you? Just...
Well, no, because the fan does keep it. Whether it'll overheat when it's being thrashed, I don't know. So if you do, I don't know how this will react with track day. It'll definitely need some sort of tempering. But the main thing is these intake temperatures don't go above a certain level. Now, one thing that it does do now with this new intercooler on is that you can tell. Say you rev it, the temperature will drop initially, okay, which means that it is working. But obviously as soon as it builds up enough energy and it pulls heat into it, you get what's called heat soak. Right? It can't dispel that unless there's airflow, and that obviously, and you can see with the fan the intake temperature. So I'm sat there going, well, that's working loads better than it was. So the only thing that I don't know if it does work or not, and whether it's been worth all the effort, is the air conditioning. Well, it's in there. I haven't got any gas in it, no, because all of this would have been 20,000 times easier if I'd have just taken out the aircon.
Where's the aircon from?
There.
Where'd you fill it? Can you get to it?
Yeah, you take this off.
Are you going to get a can or
yeah.
It's something you do?
No. Okay, you chuck a can, one of these cans in, it works fine. The aircon in this ran ice cold for 2 years on a can. Some days you're the pigeon, some days you're the statue. Just accept it. Keep moving forward. This here is a standard OE catalytic converter connected up to this. Now, this setup as standard is what was fitted to it, or should have been fitted to it. I've checked all the part numbers. It is correct. I've also checked all this. it's all good. We got new plugs and that's in there and it's running. We don't appear to have any leaks currently. Now, what I noticed with this was that which I've got to fix, this whole thing and the way this fits, it should be further this way, probably by about 10 to 15 mil. However, on this car there isn't enough space, is there? So we've had to make this fit. Now, how long this is on, yeah, I do not know. I'll worry about that later on. I don't know what the heat is going to be like. I'm assuming it could be. I don't know at this point. We just got to run it and see what happens, haven't we? So everything is good there, and I'm tempted to put the under tray back on just to give the MOT tester less stuff to look at. Yes, maybe that's a good idea, because it's passed on everything else. So I'm not really that worried about everything and anything, because it's all good. There is very much an element with all of this of you kind of get what you pay for. There are quite literally no free rides, unfortunately. And if I was going to take anything away from this experience as a thing for anyone else, it's that you don't, or it doesn't seem to work if you try and do it. Second-hand stuff really works. That catalytic converter, that was second-hand. Well, I won't lie, this whole emissions thing has been a bit stressful. Maybe that's the wrong word. Frustrating, that's better. Yeah, it's all buttoned up and everything else. We're all back together. Everything's clean as well. It's not covered in fiberglass. It runs fine. It was all good to go and everything else. So we're now going to go speak to the person at the test centre and see if we can get this to pass. Well, we'll find out in a minute, won't we? Yeah. It's been a while. Obviously the car now has an MOT, so that's good. Quite a bit has passed water, bridge, under, that type of thing, since I last did any video in, because I've been concentrating on getting a lot of it sorted out, and we've ended up a time and effort, wow. And we're currently on a drive up to Chorley to get the final tune put on it, which is a good thing. We've set everything else, set everything up now as best we can. The concern has been around the intake temperatures and all the different bits and pieces, and I'm hoping, because I've insulated pipes, I've done this, I've done that, I've taken bits of trim out to try and make sure that we've got air flowing through, and we're in a good place with it. The ambient temperatures are really high for this time of year. You know, we're talking end of October and we're still looking at ambient temperatures about 15, 16 with quite high humidity as well, which really doesn't help. And today I had all some of the pipes off, did a bit of insulating because we were suffering from heat soak. Where I think the heat was getting back into it from the actual charge pipe. Oh, I took the pipe off. It comes down and it catches, or it's very, very close to the radiator fan plug. I got caught in traffic and I'm sat there watching these temperatures, and I noticed that the coolant temperature hit 106. I was like, that's never done that before. And what happened was I knocked the plug out. It's a good thing I got all the tools in the back, proper Derek style, you know. And yeah, we performed a few repairs at this service station, which is very Derek actually, yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna keep driving now, because I didn't plan on driving in the dark. I'm not a massive fan of it. As I've got older, my eyes have not not adjusted, or they don't adjust well to it. So we're gonna have a crack and keep driving. Yeah, it's dropping quite a bit now. Yep, physics is fantastic.
If I was lost upon a ship at sea, would you send someone to rescue me? If I was blind, then would you help me see all the things you put in front of me?
So, yeah, that happened. We appear to have arrived at a hotelish kind of establishment where we will proceed to spend the night, you know, maybe get some food, wet the back of the neck, that type of thing. Might even treat myself to a cold snack. Depends what the food is like. I don't know, it's over there somewhere. That all went reasonably according to plan. The temperature stayed nice and constant. They got all the healthy options here. Chances of one of them being open, I'm not going with a lot. In fact, I think I can see that one's shut. Oh well. We might end up with crisps. Oh, that'll do. It took a lot of strength not to order a party bucket. Oh, morning. Oh, yes. So, perfectly fine evening. We're gonna go and get some coffee now. Unfortunately, the only game in town is the Green Lady, and I don't normally subscribe to the Green Lady because the Green Lady is, you know, corporate, whatever. But let's go and get some Java. I wanted hot coffee, I got hot coffee. That is nuclear. They don't put the milk out anymore, you've got to ask for it. If that doesn't wake you up, I don't know what will. So we got a short drive to the tuners, let's get it done. So that's the run with it as it was. So that's the difference that an exhaust can make. Definite picture skewness about this place. Is you know, middle of nowhere, that type of thing. And yeah, you know, these inferior machines are kicking around as well. So yeah, where are we? Wow, we're done. We're as far as we can go with it. I'll go over the numbers a bit later, because that's, you know, as you see, we had a bit of an issue. You know, it's never been an issue before, but we had a bit of an issue. So I've got to resolve this and get everything put back together. That's why the bumper's off. It's not because of the cooling, it's because this seized. So yeah, I get to fix this Derek style in the dirt. Some crap. I'm still up north, still haven't seen any whippets, but car's done. I'm going to have to go, I'm going to get some grub and sort out a bit of a clean up and one thing or another, and then I'll get back and we'll have a roundup. Let's have a crack. I see another review coming on here. So I'm currently on the M6, just come out of one of the smart bits, which didn't really feel very smart, especially when you've got a truck that's 3 feet away from your bumper, because they don't want to do 50 like the sign says. Anyway, currently we're on our way back down south, driving a car that has been, you know, we're done with it. We hopefully have achieved everything that we can, you know. The headline numbers, because everyone wants to know numbers, is we've got 198 brake horsepower and 206 pound-feet of torque. This means that we didn't hit the 200, but a number is a number. This was optimised around where it felt right, and that's kind of, in my opinion, is the right thing to do. Don't get me wrong, it would have been nice from a symbolic point of view to see, yeah, actually we've got 200, you know, we've doubled the 100, but it wasn't the right thing to do. So, you know, and I'll be honest with you, technically speaking, the Panda only had 99, so the 100 horsepower only had 99 brake horsepower on paper. Genuinely, look it up. So we technically did double the horsepower. All that aside, what I've been left with is a car that is driving very nicely. The optimization feels right. Previously, despite it having power and all of these things and one thing or another, and it was, you know, it was nothing really wrong with it. You could tell that it wasn't quite happy with the changes that we made. Now it's optimized around the systems that we put in place, so the exhaust, the intercooler, and a few bits and pieces. It's optimized around that. It's been mapped accordingly, so it's not what's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't feel as uncomfortable, and it did feel kind of uncomfortable in its own shell, as it were. Sometimes when you drove it, it was a bit coughy, a bit spluttery, a bit a bit, you know. Now it's not. It's smooth. It's pulling nicely. You can tell there's a bit more power than there was before as well. It is there, especially lower down, pulling from lower down. So it's made it a lot more drivable. So when you get those advantages from an optimization, is the number really that important? Probably not. So plans going forward, the car's got to be used. You know, it will get a run back and forth every couple of days, and we're going to do some track days with it. We're going to have some fun with it. We're going to use it because that's why we build it. It's not meant to be constantly in a state of repair. It's meant to be used. Hopefully that's what we'll get out of it, and I'm looking forward to it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to concentrate on what I'm doing and try and get myself back home. Let's have a crack.
I stretched out my hands to help in your hour of need. Could not find a way to say, did not matter anyway, what you say or what you do. But just know what I've been through with no help from you. I wish I could find a way in which I could see how to be free. I wish I could fly outside my head, right into someone else's. 1,000 miles away, everyone is waiting there for me. No, I belong to a different world, one with me. 1,000 miles away, everyone is waiting there for me. No, I belong to a different world, one with me.
tight, that.